Sarah Saksanama, and these are the headlines of the hour. Government expresses discontent with Indian Prime Minister's continued reluctance to accept the EPG report. Terms failure of implementation of the Prime Minister agreement unfortunate. Constitutional Council recommends Cholendra Samse Rana for Chief Justice. Parliamentary endorsement will grant Rana a 4-year term to lead the judiciary. The US Senate votes to withdraw US military aid for Saudi Arabia's war on Yemen and to blame the kingdom's crown prince for the murder of a journalist. And Biratnagar to face Chitwan and Kathmandu to play against Pokhara at the Everest Premier League today. Chitwan and Pokhara must win to keep their hopes alive for the playoffs. A jeep accident in Ardi Dada in Palpat district last night has claimed the lives of 5 people and injured 4 others. According to the local police, those killed in the accident have been identified as 20-year-old driver Birendra Rana, 24-year-old Kunisara Ruchal, 40-year-old Boma Kumari Darlami, 71-year-old Rewat Bahadur GC and 32-year-old Yanisara Gaha. The police have stated the jeep travelling to Bahadurpur from Tansen Veer off at a road at Odari Bhir and fell about 900 meters. The injured have been receiving treatment at Lumbini Medical College. And with that, let's move on to the latest national political updates. The Nepal government has termed the Indian government's reluctance in receiving the report prepared by Eminent Persons Group EPG as unfortunate. The Nepal government expressed its dissatisfaction publicly after Indian Premier Narendra Modi allegedly denied receiving the EPG report, citing busy schedule a number of times. Speaking during the weekly press conference held at Singadarbar, government spokesperson and communications minister Gokul Baskota said the indifference on part of the southern neighbour would affect the bilateral relation between the two nations. The report was prepared after numerous review meetings held between the distinguished teams representing both the nations, covering a span of 2 years. It has already been 5 months since the final report was prepared. Members of EPG Nepal have maintained that the government needs to take political initiatives to facilitate an environment for the handover of the report. Minister Baskota did not inform the media if any political initiatives were on the cards. However, they said the situation was undesirable.
यो उच्च स्तरको प्रधानमन्त्री तहको प्रधानमन्त्री तहमा छलफल भएर त्यसमा सहमति बनेर एमओयू भएर टीओआर बनेर त्यसपछि फर्मेसन भएको कमिटीका कुनै एकपक्षीय कुराहरू हुँदैनन्। त्यो दुईटैको साझा प्रतिवेदन बनेको छ। त्यो समितिले 9 पल्ट बैठक गरेको छ र पहिलो बैठक पनि नेपालमा भएको थियो र अन्तिम बैठक पनि त्यसको नेपालमा भएको थियो। यद्यपि यो साँचो हो कि त्यो समितिको रूपमा अहिले अस्तित्वमा छैन, तर प्रतिवेदन दुवै देशले स्वीकार गरेका व्यक्तित्वहरू रहेर बनेको प्रतिवेदन हो। त्यो प्रतिवेदन को विषयमा यो चाहिँ मानिन्न बुझिन्न अथवा त्यसमा यस खालको संशोधन वा करेक्सनको आवश्यकता देखियो भनेर भारत सरकारको तर्फबाट नेपाल सरकारलाई कुनै त्यस्तो कुरा आएको छैन। त्यसो भएको हुनाले सरकार के विश्वस्त छ भने त्यो तहमा भएको सहमति त्यस आधारमा तयार भएको प्रतिवेदन नै नबुझ्ने वा बुझ्दैन भन्ने कुरामा विश्वास गर्न हामीलाई सजिलो हुँदैन र त्यो हामी पत्याउँदा पनि पत्याउँदैनौँ, त्यति सजिलो पनि छैन। र यसले फेरि यदि त्यस्तो भयो भने त्यो एक प्रकारले अलिकति दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण जस्तो हुन जान्छ र त्यसले अरु कयौं विषयहरुमा पनि शंकाहरु उब्जाउने आधार पैदा हुन्छ।
Meanwhile, in a different context, the government has warned the public not to use Indian bills of 200, 500 and 2000 denominations, which are considered illegal in Nepal. The government has also tightened its monitoring in the business transactions at the border regions after the Indian currency of 500 and 1000 denominations were found circulated despite the ban imposed by the Indian government. India is also yet to facilitate the exchange of the banknotes possessed by Nepalese banks and the public. Meanwhile, Minister Bashkota also informed that small-scale farmers have been relieved of the loans they had taken from cooperatives. Now, the Constitutional Council has unanimously recommended Justice Cholendra Samche Rana to the post of Chief Justice. The Council's meeting held at Singhdarbar earlier yesterday made the unanimous decision to forward Justice Cholendra Samche Rana's name for the post of Supreme Court's Chief Justice.
प्रधान न्यायाधीशमा चोलेन्द्र शमशेर राणालाई नियुक्ति गर्नको लागि सिफारिस गर्ने काम भयो सर्वसम्मति भयो
Justice Rana will hold the office for the next 4 years if the Parliamentary Hearing Committee approves his appointment. Despite being the senior-most justice at Supreme Court, Justice Deepak Raj Joshi was not considered for the recommendation as he was previously rejected by the Parliamentary Hearing Committee. The incumbent Chief Justice will retire on 1st of January 2019 due to his age limit. And moving on, the national security policy is crucial as it defines the internal and external threats to a country and helps the government decide on required security strategies. However, Government of Nepal has yet to formulate the general laws to implement the security policy introduced 2 years ago. The height of government's negligence is even more glaring given that the government has not formed the laws required to operate the National Security Council as of yet. The National Security Council, which is led by the Prime Minister, has formed a special committee to expand the national security policy introduced 2 years ago. The committee comprises of Defence Minister, a coordinator and 11 other retired officials from different security units. The special committee will need to explain why the previous policy had not been implemented as the strategies of the previous policy to remove organised crime, establishing security units and expanding intelligence agencies failed to take place. Apart from security strategies, the national security policy incorporates various issues of foreign affairs, food security and mineral resources as well. However, due to the failure in implementing the policy, many of these issues related to national security have not been reviewed. It is not a difficult task to expand or change policies. However, the entity responsible for implementing the policies need to be effective, and the political parties and all stakeholders need to have a common national view. And time now for a short break. For more news, stay with us. Given that the various crucial government corporations are without leadership for a long time now, affecting the overall operation, questions have been raised on intentions of the departmental ministers. The government called for signature approval from August to November of the year 2017 till February of 2018 with the decision of transforming Nepal Food Corporation into National Supply Company and to appoint a general manager as 24 candidates had submitted their application. However, neither the government has transformed the corporation into a company nor has it filled the vacant post of the general manager. It has been 7 months since the Nepal Oil Corporation NOC, which is under the Ministry of Industries, Commerce and Supplies, has been operating without a stable leadership. 17 candidates had applied for the vacancy of the managing director at the Nepal Oil Corporation. Among the candidates, Nepal Communist Party lobbied for the appointment of engineer Ramesh Basneth, whose name landed in controversy as a corruption case was filed against him. The appointment process has not yet begun, whereas the ministry says it will soon forward 3 nominees to the Council of Ministers. The construction works of the petroleum storage facility has been stalled due to absence of the managing director. Likewise, in the absence of the leadership, the biggest tax-paying entity, the Nepal Telecom, has not been able to expand its 4G service and upgrade the quality of its other services for its customers. The lack of leadership, coupled with the dearth of sound planning since long and the degrading quality of services provided by Nepal Telecom, has benefited other private telecom companies. Dairy Development Corporation, among 4 other corporations under the Ministry of Agriculture, has also been sans leadership for a long time now. The failure of portfolio ministers has led to numerous irregularities and raised questions on the failure of these entities of significance for the public. And we have more news coming up, but right now it's time for yet another short break. The Palpa Palace was converted into a museum after reconstruction 3 years ago. However, none of the historic artifacts have been kept for display. In this context, we asked the people of Palpa why has the museum been left empty and what type of historical artifacts should be kept for exhibition in order to attract tourists. In our Public Voice segment, let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
पाल्पामा भएका ऐतिहासिक वस्तुहरूलाई पनि राम्रोसँग समेट्न सकियो भने अझ प्रभावकारी होला भन्ने लाग्छ।
इतिहासको हिसाबले र यहाँ हिजो राजा रजौटाहरूले राज गरेको ठाउँको हिसाबले पुराना जुन कला र संस्कृतिले भरिएका विभिन्न चीजहरू छन् ती चीजहरू राख्दा नै उचित हुन्छ।
पहिचान झल्किने खालका सामग्रीहरू राखियो भने संग्रहालयको अस्तित्व हुन सक्छ।
जहाँ चाहिँ ऐतिहासिक सांस्कृतिक धार्मिक सबै कुरा झल्कने खालको चाहिँ यसो संग्रहालय बनाउनु उपयुक्त होला।
यसलाई प्रदेश स्तरका एउटा महत्त्वपूर्ण संग्रहालयको रूपमा अगाडि बढाउन सकिन्छ।
पाल्पा दरबारलाई मात्रै सीमित नगरेर यो पर्खाल भित्रकोलाई चाहिँ एउटा बगैँचाको जस्तो बनाएर अलिकति विकसित गरेर मान्छे त्यहाँ आएर बस्ने पठन पाठन पनि गर्न मिल्ने खालको चाहिँ र घुम्न रमणीय र बच्चाहरू खेल्नका लागि पनि उपयुक्त पार्क बनाउन सकियो भने यसले अझै महत्त्व बोक्छ।
And time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And your question is, why have different parliamentary committees expressed interest in the same issue? Your options are A, unclear jurisdiction, B, popularity stunt. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A or B and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And time now for the sports update.
Sports news.
2 matches are slated for today at the Everest Premier League. The first match features a clash between Biratnagar Warriors and Chitwan Tigers, while Kathmandu Kings 11 will face Pokhara Rhinos in today's second match. The first match between Biratnagar and Chitwan will start at 9 this morning at the Trivandrum University International Cricket Ground in Kantipur. Defending champions Biratnagar will advance to the playoffs if they register a win today. Biratnagar are in the 3rd spot in the points table with 4 points from 2 wins and a loss. Biratnagar lost to Bhairahava by 4 wickets in their last match after a dismal performance with the bat, scoring just 91 runs before being bowled out. If Biratnagar lose today, their chances of making it to the playoffs will be difficult. Meanwhile, Chitwan must win today to keep their chances alive to qualify for the playoffs. If Chitwan lose today, they will most likely be knocked out at the league stage. Although they have a chance to qualify for the playoffs, mathematically they will have to register big wins in the next 2 matches. For Chitwan to qualify, results by Biratnagar and Kathmandu will have to be in their favour. Winless Chitwan are in the 5th position in the points table with 3 losses from 3 matches. Meanwhile, today's second match between Chitwan Tigers and while Kathmandu Kings 11 will start at 1 this afternoon at the same venue in Kantipur. Kathmandu are in the 4th spot in the league table with 2 points from 2 matches. If Kathmandu defeat Pokhara today, their chances for reaching the playoffs will be high. Suffering 3 consecutive losses, Pokhara must win today's match with a big margin to keep their hopes alive of reaching the playoffs. And moving on, 2 matches are scheduled for today under the Martyrs Memorial 8 Division League as well. The first fixture, slated for 11 a.m. kickoff today, will see Nepal Police Club against French Club, while league leaders Manang Marsiangdi Club will take on Trivandrum Army Club in the second match that will kick off at 2 later this afternoon. Nepal Police are in the 5th position in the league table with 11 points from 7 matches. In the previous match, the team was held to a 1-1 draw by Himalayan Sherpa Club, and a win against Friends Club is much needed to secure 3 points. Friends Club are at the 11th position with 5 points from 7 matches. Meanwhile, later today, in what is expected to be an exciting fixture, league leaders Manang Marsiangdi will see Trivandrum Army Club. Undefeated Manang Marsiangdi are all confident to clinch their 8th consecutive victory at the ongoing league. The match is expected to be competitive as Trivandrum Army also have so far remained undefeated. The Army Club, however, played a draw in its first match against New Road team NRT and also shared points with Friends Club. League leaders Manang Marsiangdi have 21 points from 7 matches. 4th placed Trivandrum Army have 17 points. Sankata Club are at the 2nd position with 21 points, followed by 3-star with 18 points. Meanwhile, in matches played yesterday, Sankata Club blanked Himalayan Sherpa Club 2-0, Jalakil Youth Club stunned Army Police Force 1-0 and Saraswati Youth Club defeated NRT 1-0. Tomorrow's matches features a clash between 3-star Club and Machendra Club. Now, Manohar Basnet is a popular name in Nepalese boxing as he is fondly known as Max. The 31-year-old Max had struggled since a decade to achieve the height he has gained in Nepalese boxing while establishing himself as a professional boxer. Max is leaving for Japan to participate in a professional boxing match today and wants to make best use of this opportunity by creating environment for Nepali pugilists in professional boxing. The match is set to take place in Yokohama, Japan, as Max will be contesting in 78 kg lightweight category. Max, who has started the Professional Boxing Championship in Nepal, has taken this opportunity as one of the biggest achievements of his career. Prior to this, Max had played Professional Boxing League in India. Max is not the only boxer to have featured in the professional boxing. Few boxers outside the country have been participating in the professional boxing. Max says that his objective is to lead Nepalese boxers to International Professional Boxing Championship. Professional boxing career can be very lucrative because of financial benefit. It may be recalled that four-time national champion Max was banned for 3 years when he spoke about the irregularities taking place in Nepal Boxing Association. Due to his cold relations with NBA, he lost the opportunities to participate in international events. However, in the recent time, he has been engaged with senior players in changing the scenario of professional boxing in Nepal. And now, before we wrap up, here's a look at the top stories once again. Government expresses discontent with Indian Prime Minister's continued reluctance to accept EPG report. Terms failure of implementation of the Prime Ministerial Agreement unfortunate. Constitutional Council recommends Cholendra Samsher Rana for Chief Justice. Parliamentary endorsement will grant Rana a 4-year term to lead the judiciary. The U.S. Senate votes to withdraw U.S. military aid for Saudi Arabia's war on Yemen and to blame the kingdom's crown prince for the murder of a journalist. And Viratnagar to face Chitwan and Kathmandu to play against Pokhara at the Everest Premier League today. Chitwan and Pokhara must win to keep their hopes alive for the playoffs. And that's all for the moment. Our next English bulletin will be at 11 this morning. Keep watching Kantipur TV HD for more news and entertainment. Have a great day.